Oh, it's doing that thing again. It says live video is starting. It's starting or it started. There we go. Hi there, welcome in. Welcome to God Power Live. Today's topic is fear equals sensation in the body. Today's topic is fear equals sensation in the body. I am here every weekday at 8 a.m. Pacific for Black Women Gods. For those of you who have been around and you know about Black Women Gods Gather, I've decided to make it Gods Gather just because of how much easier it is to say, how much easier it is to remember, how much easier it will be in marketing. And I trust that the whole Black part works itself out. I know it will. So fear equals high sensation in the body. Fear equals high sensation in the body. Remember that. Will you remember that? Fear equals high sensation in the body. Let's just give a little slowness right now to the number of people who live, including myself at times, not hardly, fears because of this, what I've developed here that allows me to, no longer be in fear, just like you all have things that you have developed that you just haven't marketed, right? Because you still um, fear and all the things. But just put some softness for a minute around how many of you and how many people you know have not moved or done something important because of fear. Just pause for a minute. How many times have you not called someone, said something to someone, not made a decision because you were afraid? Just imagine for a moment. How many times have you not taken a certain action in your life because you were afraid? Like you could pinpoint, something when you were young that would have totally changed the trajectory of your life. That had you done the thing that you were scared of, your life would look, you would just, even today, have more self respect for yourself. You would have more belief in your ability to do things because you would have done that scary thing when you were 22, 30. And so what I know now as somebody who, I have my own experience with fear, is that when you are afraid, your body is in a certain state. And that if you don't check the state in the moment that you feel the fear, that what you're doing is you're creating a neural pathway, you're normalizing it to where you just fear, fear, fear. So another example of this is the way you currently brush your teeth in the morning. You have a way, right? The way you walk up to the counter sink, the way what hand you use to grab your toothbrush, the way like most of it, you have a way. That is very deeply ingrained in your brain in a neural pathway. And for everything else that you do pretty much the same all the time. The way you drive home, the path you take, you have right? Even if you have three main paths that you have to take home, you have neural pathways in your brain that knows that these are the three pathways that you take home. If you prepare a meal a certain way, if you wind down at night a certain way, if you engage with it. So fear is the same way. When you train yourself to, when I feel this sensation, to disconnect, to say no, you create a neural pathway, right? So what I'd like to discuss here today is creating a new neural pathway, and the beginning of creating that new neural pathway, so you stopping at fear and instead have the skill, because overcoming fear is a skill, okay, that you develop the new neural pathway by starting here, which is fear is merely a sensation in the body. Okay, let's pause. Now breathe around this. This is why in module 1 of Shadow Gold, we go immediately into the body. immediately. All this change people want to make, all this transformation, setting these intentions, getting into all this activity right away, because you want to do this, have that. And, even with the new year coming, people are making goals. Why is it not happening for so many people? Why do so many of us start strong, but we don't finish? How many of us, we start to take a new path because we're riding on the initial adrenaline of the excitement. Then, once our neural pathway really kicks in, or once we have a bad day, or once we feel something that we don't like feeling, or if we don't get the result quick enough, or something else appears in our life that seems shinier, or okay, what's going on here? Okay, so just pause for a moment of, in the body, what it feels like when you feel fear. What does it feel like? It feels threatening. It feels foreign. It feels uncomfortable. It's out. I don't like it. Right? Isn't that how fear feels in the body? T-shirt. Fear equals high sensation. And if you want to, you can say in the body. You can say fear equals high sensation in the body. I already have that in my notes for a t-shirt. Just pause for a minute. Stop looking at me and feel and remember what it feels like when you feel fear. Stop looking at me and imagine right now. I want you to have an experience. Go to a memory you had when you were terrified. I have a few that pop up in my own mind. I've talked here about when I saw who we are. I saw the power, and it was so foreign. It was so unfamiliar. And I freaked out and I ran to the bar and I just drank a bunch of champagne until my eyelids were too heavy to barely engage with life. But prior to me taking that action, what it felt like in my body was high sensation. And it was too much. It was like, I need to get this off of me. I don't want to feel this. I don't like this. Breathing gets shallow, and then that fight or flight kicks in. Fight or flight, fight or flight, fight or flight. So welcome in, folks. Welcome in. I really hate, for those of you who got here, I really hate that you have missed so much of what has happened here, because it has been such an experience. And if you want the full replay, you can go over to my Facebook business page, naimasingletary.com / no, facebook.com / Naima Singletary. Facebook.com / Naima Singletary. The topic is fear equals high sensation in the body. And I went through a whole introductory, you'll have to catch that on the replay on Facebook. So the reason why we need the whole humanity, not only Black women, gods, the whole humanity really needs to get a grip over this fear, is because it's the chief tool that's used to control us. It's the chief tool. It's been the chief tool for millennia. And so when we're, as I've already talked about, wanting to do something new, right now, the women that I'm working with and talking with, they have the credibility, they have the know-how, they have the words, they know that they can do it. The only thing that's stopping them is fear. That's it. It's all fear. That's it. And the fact that something that is so ubiquitous and so common and so normal, folks still haven't found a way to get a grip on that. So their lives, your whole life, oh my God, your whole life wasted in going in circles and like wasting your life. I'm telling you, when you get a grip on this, what we're doing here now, and what I move you through in such a feminine way inside of Shadow Gold, because Shadow Gold is what I know, what has gotten me here. For those of you who admire my confidence and courage and clarity of communication online, it has not always been like this. This fear thing, I told the story on a video on TikTok, here on TikTok, about in 2011 how terrified I was to create video. And I had the video and the tripod, in the camera and the tripod, in my closet for months before I brought it out, because I was so scared of what are people going to think, and what's my message, and what am I really going to say, and are people even going to listen, and how does this all work, and how am I going to look, and and I just wasted that time doing nothing. And now here I am 12 years later with thousands of videos all over the internet, hundreds of thousands of dollars, helping women all over the world, retreats, workshops, and events all over the world, because I had to get over the fear that one time and then made it a habit. I created the neural pathway. And one of the points that I made in that story about creating that first video that I was paralyzed to create in May 2011, the point that I made was that I knew after I did that first video, because the first video I was exhausted after I did it because I used so much of my willpower to do it. This is why willpower alone doesn't work. This is why I constantly, I'm talking about coming home to your body. You will learn how to bring fear into your vaginal area up through your whole body. The work that I have done, which is unorthodox, taboo, this is what the patriarchy has not wanted us to do. The work that has been done to get us to see our body as a sin. I've had women who were raised Catholic. I remember when I first realized how much religion has so disconnected, not even just women, but men, from their primal nature, from our true nature. All this shit we're talking about today is not nature. Don't even get me started, okay? But this woman came to me. She was engaged for the second time. Black woman. She was engaged to be married for the second time. This was 2017, something like that. And this is the beauty of doing this work. This looking at people comments online and looking at the war online, get into a woman's heart, get into her soul, get into what's really her pussy. You're gonna find out what's really going on. This woman was getting ready to break off her second engagement to be married because she was afraid of sex. She was afraid of pleasure. She was raised hardcore Catholic. She was afraid of even really expressing and showing up in the bedroom, and that she wouldn't be enough, and even scared to do it even though she's married. All of the dissonance that religion creates in the minds and bodies of what is actually natural. Actually natural. You know what's natural for women? Variety. Really, humans, variety. If we weren't imposed upon, somebody said, that's so common and I hate it. Yeah, I wasn't even aware of how much religion impacted women at that time. And when I heard her say it, I was just for a minute, I was is this real? Is this, you know what I'm saying? And after her, so many other women came into my life. And then when I started to read the statistics of the number of women who don't enjoy sex, who fake sex, and that was one thing I could relate to. I faked it, plenty times. I have done it plenty times just because he wanted to do it and I wanted him out of my face. You know what I'm saying? And so I was just and I know I've kind of gone off topic a little bit, and I talked about this in great detail on yesterday's God Power Live. I'm here every weekday at 8 a.m. Pacific, by the way. This whole topic of fear and what the patriarchy, what religion has done, and they've done a really good job of it, is getting men and women, frankly, but I'm talking about women right now, to totally disassociate from their body and to focus on this or to focus on some system. No, don't trust your system. Listen to males. No, don't come home to your feminine nature. Listen to what the church says. No, don't come home to this supreme divine tool right here. Do what is going to make sure you keep your bills paid. You better do this or else you'll be ousted from the collective. You better do this or you'll be ousted from the church. You better do this or you'll be ousted from resources and connection and belonging to the tribe. And how many of us today are afraid of cancel culture? Okay. So the first thing that we do inside of Shadow Gold is bringing you home to your body. As a woman, I'm telling you, when you learn what you learn inside of Shadow Gold, to bring that moment when you have that high sensation in your body because you're doing something new, you're doing something that feels foreign, you're doing something outside of your comfort zone, you're doing something outside of your current identity. Because your current identity might see yourself as a good girl who does a good job, who's all these things. And maybe in a small way, you see yourself as this big speaker. Maybe in a small way, you see yourself as a millionaire, multimillionaire, and but that's not your dominant identity. But you want it to be your dominant identity. So there's a path for you to take, for you to walk, and the creating of the neural pathway to go from seeing yourself right now, right, which may be good girl, strong, powerful, etc. But none of those things in your behavior, in your unconscious mind, equal the courage to be out on the world stage playing big. None of those equal multimillionaire status, assuming you desire that. None of that equals at a deep unconscious level, which is part of the neural pathway that I've been talking about here today, where that becomes normal for you. Normal, normal. Like what you do now, you created your job that you may have, your everyday, the way you will just, you know how some of us, even me, like just grabbing my phone feels like such a tick. It's just normal. I'll be sitting, maybe I'll be sitting and thinking, maybe I'll be sitting and eating, maybe I'll be doing, and like grabbing my phone feels like such a tick now, even if I don't have a reason that I'm grabbing it. And I know that's because so many of us, we've already developed these neural pathways to be close to the phone, grab the phone, get on the phone. You know, as soon as we have a window of quiet in our day, we grab the phone. That's a neural pathway. So now you do it without even thinking, right? You can do the same thing with getting to the millionaire status, seeing yourself in a big way that you're currently seeing yourself in a small way, where it's just normal for you to be creating powerful content. Where it's just normal for you to be showing up like this, assuming that you admire and respect and want to be like this in your clarity of communication in your own way. This is not about copying me, okay? This is about doing it in your way. But the point is, with the courage, talking about the topics that you really want to talk about, speaking truth to power. And what has me liberated in this way, right? To be able to move, to be able to show up, to be able to be able to deal with trolls. I don't see any of them here today, but you know, sometimes I'll have people who come on, I feel like they've been paid to just come on TikTok and just talk shit in the comments. The way I can do that, and right, the way I have no concern about being dragged or canceled, is coming home to this body. This is why I call it taboo work, baby, because girl, you're gonna be a whole other thing when you know how to at will. You can be in the presence of a man. You can be in the middle of doing your video with no panties on. you could be you could be in the middle of a workshop that you're doing on Zoom. You could lose your train of thought. You could be getting ready to talk about something that is your first time talking about it on camera, but you know you need to talk about it because it's related to the solution in your products and services. I have a woman right now who's going to be in the masterclass. She's like, I have products and services that I'm going to launch, and I know I need to speak truth to power. But how's she going to talk about it to sell her products and services on TikTok when she's afraid? You see what I mean? This is why she's coming to my masterclass. Good morning, whoever that is that just said good morning. Okay? So let me speak a bit about the masterclass so I can be on my way out of here. It's tomorrow, 9 a.m., and we're focusing on the body. This is what I've been talking about here today. For those of you who are going to also be inside of Shadow Gold, okay? The masterclass is on Zoom. It's an experiential masterclass, so I'm not just talking. You are going to be talking. You are going to be having experiences. Thank you for those hearts. You're going to be coming home to your body. And to that person who said, I have imposter syndrome, are you an imposter? So I want to say a bit about that. So let's park that imposter syndrome thing and let me finish this about the masterclass, okay? So it's not really imposter syndrome. For that person who just said, no, I'm not, then it's not really imposter syndrome. You're saying that because you've been hearing it on the internet. How much do you guys have running through your head that you think that you got off the internet? So now, the masterclass, we're focusing on coming home to your body. If you know that you're paralyzed at a body level, listen, listen, listen. If you have the words and you know you have what it takes to bring what your message forward so you can sell your products and services online, so you can impact people, but you feel paralyzed when it's time to actually move, you waste your time. Let's track your time. I actually decided to start doing it again today. Track your days in 30-minute increments. Okay, for 30 minutes, starting at, let's say, 8 a.m. 8 to 8:30, this is what I did. Write it down. Through your whole day, keep it with you. 8:30 to 9, this is what I did. 9 to 9:30, and look at how much time you waste in your day. And then look at why do you waste that time? How much of that is wasted in fear? When you come home to your body, where in the moment when you feel high sensation, you feel something that feels foreign, you notice your breathing gets shallow, you know how to take that thing up through your vaginal walls, all up. You know how to take that thing all up and through at will. People don't even know you're doing it. Somebody asks you a question that feels confronting, you know how to take it up, take it through, and bring it out to your mouth. This is part of how I think women were able to fuck the war out of men and fuck love into them. I'm telling you, when you start doing the work that all of these fucking systems, all of it, the religious system, the patriarchal system, the society, when you start doing the work we do, oh, bitch, you're gonna be a force. Bitch, you're gonna be a force. You hear me? At a body level. So many of y'all ashamed of your body. You like how your pussy smell? Huh? Do you know how to be in the presence of a man who's staring at you and you don't know why he's staring at you without you? That high sensation coming, what do you do? What do you do? Somebody question you about prices. It's time for you to raise your prices and you scared to raise them. All of this is high sensation in the body. This is not just about sex. Or that was that Oscar Wilde who was like, everything about life is sex, except for sex. Sex is about power. Listen, everything in your life where you have high sensation that you avoid. A potent conversation with your mother. A question your child asks you where they find out something about your past. All of that. High sensation. Do you know how to take it up and through? Do you know how to take it up and through? And you alchemize it on the spot. I'm not talking about simple little things. I'm talking about big things that you feel shame about, embarrassment about, that you forgot about, that you wanted to forget about because of how much pain and shame and embarrassment I'm talking about that stuff. You able to take that stuff through your body. Do you know how fucking free you gonna be? You'll be like old boy on comedy. He said, see white people, they be like, I wish nobody's sitting in our seats. Remember on Kings of Comedy? Said he, white people, they late to the concert. Oh God, I wish nobody has taken our seats. Honey, I know we're late and I really hope no one's taken our seats. He say, black people, we be like, I wish a motherfucker would. That's how you gonna be when you come into your body in the way that my shadow gold teaches you. In the way that this master class that we gonna be doing tomorrow, which is free, is gonna show you. You gonna wish a motherfucker. You're gonna enjoy. You're gonna learn how to tickle your own pussy with trolls, with being dragged, with people talking shit in your comment. Yeah! This is what makes it taboo. This is what makes you unfuckwittable. This is what makes you a motherfucking problem. In the best way. See, I was scared to market this for a while. And I had to realize how much time I was wasting scared to market. You see? Let me tell you who this masterclass is for. You got to be 34 years and older. 34 years old and older. There's a reason why we have rites of passage. Number 2, your annual income needs to be at $100,000 or more. Number 3, you need to be ready for high-level work. This is advanced. My work is advanced. This ain't some shadow work prompts and some TikTok clips and some all of this baby elementary stuff they got y'all doing. Like billionaires is for black women. Yeah, this is high level. This is advanced. If you want to do some chicken shit, go over there to all of the people doing the shit that's going to have you still going in circles. This is advanced. So you need to be ready for that. right? If you know this is for you and you're ready to come home to your body, DM me. The masterclass is tomorrow. It's on Zoom. It's going to be a small, intimate experience. It's 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific. Now, to go back to this imposter, you know what? I'm going to end here on Facebook and we're going to come over here and talk. See y'all tomorrow at 8 a.m. Let me say about this imposter syndrome.